Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Guys, today we're back to working on these brass or bronze bearings for the steam locomotive that we're working on out at the Georgia Museum of Agriculture. This goes on a 1917 Vulcan Iron Works steam locomotive. This will be the brasses for the connecting rods, and we're making a new set. The old ones are just starting to get wore out, and we want to get those replaced. So we had some patterns made, we had castings made. I'm in the process of machining these things out, and we've got pretty much most of the machining except for the board done, except for one little section up here in the top. And as is common on this type of a bearing, there is a wedge built into it so that you can tighten this bearing up as it wears. There's basically two wedges that go against one another, and when you tighten one up, it just presses everything together. Now, I know what the angle needs to be in here, the taper in here to do this, but we need to get this machined out. Now, because this is a taper that runs up in the top of this, to machine it, I want to machine it flat across the top, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to rock my casting over to the angle that when I mill the top of this, it will be flat across the top, but I'm actually milling that taper. And to get that angle just right over in my mill machine, what I want to do is I want to have a little fixture. I'm going to call it a chair. I'm going to take a block of steel that this casting will fit down on top of like this, but mill the angle into this so that when it sits on it, it's going to sit on it at the proper angle. So I can just plop this on there, go put it in the mill machine, and I know everything's at the right height. So anyway, that's the game plan. Today, we're gonna be making this chair. I guess you could call it a recliner because it can be at an angle. So let me show you my game plan on how we're gonna do this. I got the specs, I got the original blueprint, so I know exactly what we need to do. We just need to go do it. So let's lay this thing out and get it ready to mill so that we can finish up milling these bearings. So if you look here, I have the original blueprints for the connecting rods on this locomotive. It includes the two brasses. The two on the top is the ones we're working on right now. There's actually another connecting rod that has some brasses. We'll be doing those at a later date. Right now I'm just working on the one. And you can see in here this is the drawing of the two bearings. This is kind of a sectional view down the center, so you can see that angle in there. And if you look over here, we have the angle is described as a taper, and it is a 1 inch in 6 inch taper. So that means for every 6 inches over, it raises up 1 inch. So that describes the angle that we need to mill in here. Now, to get that angle transferred over to our little chair that we're going to make, we need to do some calculations. Let me show you exactly what we're going to do there. So this is a rough sketch, very rough sketch, not to scale or anything, that kind of shows what we're trying to make here. This is just something that can fit down into. We're going to mill it out of this piece of metal here, and it'll have that proper angle in there. So again, the taper that we're doing is 1 inch in 6 inches. So basically, if we were to draw a triangle, for every 6 inches on this side, we're going to be 1 inch on this side, and then that will give us this angle. I've actually did the math. It came out to 9.426 degrees, but for setting this up on a sine bar, which is what we're going to use, this is a sine bar, I don't really need to know the angle because I know the taper. And basically what we would do is on a sine bar, you've got two rolls. They're a certain distance apart, and you put a stack of gauge blocks up underneath one end of these, and that will raise it up and create an angle. And you can use some trigonomic tables and calculate using the sine function, which is why they call this a sine bar, what size stack you need to basically create this triangle, what size you need to put underneath here. But I know that in 6 inches I need to raise up 1 inch. Now this particular sine bar happens to be 5 inches between the two rolls, so we need to go back here and calculate. So I did the math. One inch per 6 inches comes out to, if I calculate per inch, it's 0.1666 inches per inch. And then I just because we're going 5 inches, I multiply that number times 5. I know my stack needs to be 0.8333 3/10 is what we need to do to raise it up to create that. Our work will just sit on top of this sine bar. We'll raise it up, and that will create the angle we need to mill out of this. So there you go. Before I get too deep into this, I do want to put a couple layout marks on this, so when we get over to the milling machine, we'll know where we're going. I got my gauge blocks here, and we're going to go ahead and build our stack out. Again, we're going to 0.8333. So I'm going to start with the smallest number. I got to get to 3/10, so I've got a gauge block here that is 0.1003. So I'm going to put this in here, 0.1003. We're going to subtract that out. That's going to come out to, I still need 0.7333. So what I need to do is find something that has the 33 thousandths on it. And I've got a block here that is 0.133. So again, we're going to put 0.133. So I still need a 600 thousandths block on top of that. And if I come over here, I've got a 600 thousandths block. So I've got 3 gauge blocks here. When I stack these together, it equals 0.8333. 833 thousandths and 3/10. And when I put my sine bar up underneath that one end, that gives me the proper taper, which again is 1 inch in 6 inches. All right, we're ready to go to the mill machine and get this set up and see if we can get that angle milled. All right, let's see if we can get this set up here. I've got my stack of gauge blocks. I'm going to put this in the bottom of the vise, and then we're going to take the sine bar down here, drop it in, and have it sitting on top of the stack there. And that should be our proper angle, 1 inch per 6 inches. I'm going to drop my part in here, make sure everything's nice and square, and we'll clamp that in the vise. Now, if I come in here and mill this out, I'll have a flat here, but that will be the proper angle when we lay this down to rest that part on in order to mill it out at the proper angle. So let me get a cutter set up on this, and we'll see if we can get this part milled out. All right, I got a face mill in here that should mill a nice square corner over there. And I'm just going to raise up till we start touching off there. I'll lock my table. We're going to be basically just going in and out across this. Zero out my digital readout so I can tell where I'm at, where I need to go to here. And I'm just going to do about a 50 thousandths cut. And we're just going to go back and forth. I'll do about another 50 thousandths down feed. Seems to be working pretty well. We'll just nibble it out. We'll get that nice 4-inch bottom on there. We're just about to the maximum width here. taking the whole width of the cutter. So I think what we're going to do, is I've got my 0 set going in this direction. I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to come down this way some. Kind of continue on with this. And nibbling it out. This will probably be our last cut. Yeah, it's coming out right there on that line, which is where I want to be at. Raise up here. I'm just going to come back down, make sure we're on that back shoulder good. It all blend together. And I think we've got her done. Yeah, that looks good. All right, our little fixture is all finished up. I went ahead and just stamped on here what it is, just for future reference. You know, one day somebody's going to be digging through my cabinets and drawers out here after I'm long gone and want to know what this was for. And I've got it marked: Vulcan Locomotive, connecting rod bearings, 1 inch and 6 inch taper. So, you know, at least I'll know what it is if I can't remember down the road or I go to looking for it. I also put my date, 2023, and my initials on there to know what it is. But anyway, we'll just put this up. This will be a tool, and it can be used if I ever have to make these bearings again. Also, I've on multiple occasions had to make the wedges that tighten up on there because they will wear out over time. Actually, the threads in them will strip out. So I've had to make those, and we can use the same little fixture to get the angle on those down the road as well. So I'm sure this little fixture will come back and be seen again at some point in time. And let's show you how it works. So our bearing will just fit right up on this. You can see how it just fits right in there. And now we've got a nice flat up here at the top that when we go to milling this, we can just mill nice and straight down that, and that'll give us the perfect taper for all these bearings. And we got to do these on several of them. So we'll be setting this up over on the horizontal milling machine to finish this out. So there you go. One little fixture for indexing that tool. So just showing the setup. I'm not going to do the actual cutting in this video, but this is going to show you how we're going to be doing this. We'll put our little chair fixture down here in the vise. The bearing will drop down on it like such. We'll clamp it all in place, and we'll come in here with a big cutter and we'll mill that out and get everything nice and flat at the proper angle, get the sides cleaned up on this. We'll plan on doing all that over here on the horizontal milling machine. Like I said, that's going to be another video coming down the road, but you kind of get an idea of my game plan here. Well, there you go, guys. That's pretty much going to be a wrap on this. I think we got this project knocked out. One of the nice things about having a machine shop is that when you need a special jig or fixture or whatever for work holding to do a project, you can usually just make it yourself right here in the shop. The downside is that sometimes we spend as much or more time making the fixtures than we do actually making the parts, but it's just part of the game. You got to be able to hold your work properly and get the right setups here. It's a very important part of the machine shop process, and So like I said, sometimes it's hard to justify taking the time to do that if it's just a one-off job, but sometimes it's just the right thing to do. In this case, this fixture is going to help me out finishing up this project, but like I said, we're going to keep it, and it'll probably get used again, if not for making brasses again in the future, possibly for making the wedges that go fit these brasses. We're going to need to make those again down the road too as well, I'm sure. So guys, with that, that's a wrap. As always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Those thumbs up and comments are always greatly appreciated. Hit that bell icon up there to get notifications when new videos are posted to the site. As always, a big, huge thank you to the supporters of the site who support by sponsoring the channel through Patreon and PayPal, etc. Through your contributions really enables me to take the time to shoot the videos and so forth, to take the time to do the editing and everything else and share this content with you. Also, big, huge thank you to those guys that just subscribe to the site as well. Helps out a lot. Guys, with that, we'll catch you on the next video again. Thanks for watching.